Hi, welcome to our Siesta Coffee channel. Today we're going to be roasting our beans. Come in. The raw beans here, and what I'm going to do is empty them into the hopper, which will allow it all to travel up to the chute and into the burner. So let's get loading. So lift with the back, not with the knee. And also if you work for Siesta, you get a free gym membership at 3 of our 4-5 stores. So always comes in handy when you're lifting 25 kilograms worth of weight. At this stage, the beans are quite sandy in colour. They're deep, rich colour until they've been roasted. This is a 24 kilogram drum, so we can roast that amount of beans, whereas in our original Aycliffe roaster, we could only do 4 kilogram at a time. So as you can imagine, the roasting process took a lot longer. But we had less stores at the time, so it was ideal for what we needed. So now we're at the roasting stage. At this point, the beans are in the drum and they're currently going around 210 degrees Celsius. And we'll be in there for about 15 to 20 minutes. We'll roast them until they're nice golden brown colour, and that's the good quality of Siesta coffee bean you get coming through. In the first batch, what tends to happen, the ovens hit its peak temperature, so every batch will then speed up in the cooking process after that, and it'll be more consistent in the timescales. So as you can see, we're a few minutes in, it's starting to turn a more caramelly colour from the sand colour, and we'll see how this progresses throughout the roast. So it's good to, when I'll keep pulling it out, you'll see different shades of brown. Right, so that very loud noise you've just heard is all the beans transferring from the loader straight up to the bean hopper. From there, the beans will wait for deployment into the drum, and that's when the roasting process starts. Right, as you can see here, we're more of a milk chocolate kind of colour. So as you can see, the beans are darkening off quite nicely. We're not there yet though. Then look here, quite a bit of difference in the colour, isn't there? So that's why you've got to keep pulling them out to check. You can't use the window as a reference. But we're getting closer. There is an area of colour that you need to be in. You're never going to go get the exact colour between each one. It's more of an eye for detail when you come into roasting the beans. It's about catching it at the right time, comparing it to your previous roast. It also depends on the growth of the bean, because the beans grow at different times of year. Some might have a wet summer, might have a dry summer. That all affects what you're getting through with the bean quality. So you can't really set a finite deadline on certain beans, especially with drums this size. You are having to use, your eye to have a look and see what colour your beans are coming to. So at the moment, we're getting very close together, but there is a slight light shading at the minute. You definitely need a reference point, because brown looks the same when you're stood on your own. It's only when you get into the rest of the shades that you can start seeing. So if you look up at the top here, we have this as a reference point. So that's your raw bean. That's obviously when it's been in for about 10 minutes. Probably going for your 20 minutes, well, 15 to 20 minutes here, maybe 25 going up, and then you got burnt. So you want to keep away from that. So we use the Arabica bean here. Usually there's 2 main ones worldwide, which is the Arabica and Robusta. We prefer Arabica because it's a smoother, more palatable taste generally. The majority of people prefer that, whereas Robusta tends to be a bit more bitter. We do a roast at least once a month. This unit contains 24 kilograms at any one time. So what's in that drum at the minute, you're looking at least 24 kg. You've got another 24 up the top, and then we've got another one sat waiting in the loader. So as you can see here, the beans are a lot darker now. This is exactly where we need to be with our blend. So all we need to do now is turn on the cooler and release the beans from the roaster. So this is going to sound really lovely for everyone who likes ASMR. Look at this. So at this point, we've got our next batch of beans up there ready and raring to go. All we do now is push this in and everything will drop into the burner. As you can see, it's not very little people friendly. So we're loading the next batch of beans in, the raw. At the moment, there's currently 3 different sets of beans here. So you've got your raw down here, You'll have some up in the hopper, and you've got the bacon in the oven. We've actually got 4 actually. We've got some cooling down as well. So as you can see here, a lot browner than what first went in. So at the moment, the beans are still hot to touch, which is why they're going through this cooling process. If we release the beans right now with the current temperature, they'll be released into a metal bin and continue cooking. So we've got to wait until the beans are at a cool enough temperature where you can hold them through in your hand long enough and it'll be comfortable. So what you can see here are the cracks in the beans as well. That shows you that it's ready and it's released some of the oils. Another way of telling if your beans have been ready as well, you can actually chew on them. It releases the flavour. This has got a slightly chocolatey note to it. Quite palatable actually, so I'll keep on eating that. So this is the health and safety section. So as the beans are spinning there, the chaff needs to go somewhere. This is highly flammable, so this has a little chaff chute, we'll call it. And as you can see here, all the hot burning chaff comes in. And all we do is empty that into a bucket with water. It's really important to keep the machine free from chaff as much as possible because it is a fire hazard. Sounds serious, it is, but they can be contained, so it's not as scary as it sounds when you first hear. I suppose you could compare it to popcorn, so everything's got like a kind of thin layer over the top. Yeah. So when you get popcorn, you get those annoying little pieces that get stuck in your teeth. That is similar to what's coming out with that section there, and that's what's highly flammable because it's such a thin part. The beans are really comfortable to hold now. They're a nice temperature, so they won't continue cooking if I release the beans now. So if you want to see them drop from the chute, here we go. Again, more ASMR noises for you. Yeah. So it's 1 bucket of beans per box that we emptied. So you can see here, nearly full, but we'll top that up a little bit. I love playing with them. It is so much fun. One part I really like when I'm roasting is when you look through the glass. It reminds me of when you are on a plane at night and you're flying over a city. We need to just keep checking on a regular basis. So if you look there, that wasn't 10 minutes ago I emptied that. So with it being a fresh batch in there, the first drop always has the most chaff in it. This probably is the dirtiest part of roasting because what you can feel is the smoke coming up and into your hair, and if you know hair, that holds all the smells. So what's happened now is ow, that's warm. So as you can see, the flame's gone out. At the moment, the drum is at its peak temperature, so the flames do not need to be burning because it'll go hotter. So you'll notice the flames keep dropping out and starting up again, kind of like a thermostat on a boiler. So when you hear that whoop at home, that's your boiler firing up to maintain the temperature. It's exactly the same concept here. So with the coffee chaff, that's highly rich in nitrate. So it's quite good for setting down for compost and going down in the garden, helps your plants grow. What we also do at Siesta, we collect our grinds and pour them in a drawer. And what we can do is bag them up, and if any customer comes in and they have an allotment, we are happy for them to take that away to go and fertilise their garden. Just getting the next lot of beans ready so we can do our colour comparison, ready for quality. But it hasn't took half as long for us to get here. Right, going to take some of our settled beans through next door and we'll roast a coffee. Here we go. So this is the bit you've all been waiting for, the actual end result for the coffee. Look at that crema. This is the final result of our coffee. If you liked today's video, give us a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you. I should really have a ear protection on now.